morning. I am Coimbatore Tirumular Sittarpeedam Sivayogi Sivarajan speaking. Now I am going to say that China's spiritual guru is India. India is the spiritual guru of China. That is, many countries do not have religions of their own. They have borrowed religions from other countries. For example, China and other Buddhist countries. They have borrowed Buddhism from India. Not only that, India is supplying religious points to many countries. This is the spiritual guru for many countries. In such a way, China has borrowed Buddhism from Indian spiritual world. Even China, the government religion is Buddhism in China. So this factor many people know. But even before Buddha, Confucius, that is Kalanginath, the student of Tirumular. Tirumular has many students. The main student, the primary student of Tirumular is Kalanginath. He traveled to China and he was termed as Confucius in that country. This happened long before Buddha. Kalanginath alias Confucius is having temple in Ilambillai near Salem. This is a famous temple. Every month people are thronging this temple. So the Chinese people do not know this, that Confucius is having a temple in Tamil Nadu. Kalanginath traveled to China and he became the political saint. He cleansed the political vision of China and he became a spiritual leader also in China. And most of the people accepted him as the guru. The Chinese people accepted him as guru. And many temples were also constructed for Confucius. Even before Buddha, many temples are there for Confucius, their spiritual master, guru, who went to China from Tamil Nadu. Kalanginath has written books in Tamil also, and he has written books in Chinese also. So now then interchange of knowledge available in Tamil as well as in Chinese language has to be made and research should be conducted in both the languages regarding Confucius alias Kalanginath. So if any Chinese person knowing English may contact me for making a comparative study of knowledge available in Chinese and Tamil regarding Kalanginath alias Confucius. So he went to China and became the spiritual guru there. After that only this Buddhism went to China. This Boger, the student of Confucius alias Kalangi, was from China. He came from China and became student of Confucius. And it establishes a relation between India and China. So, Boger has consecrated the Murugan idol in Palani. So, these are the things the Chinese should know. The Chinese know the importance of Buddhism And Bodhidharman went to China and established this Shaolin temple and major part of Chinese culture. And Chinese people also know that. Now Tamil people also know this after some cinema came. Now the Chinese premier came and went to Mahabalipuram to remember the Buddhist link from India to China. But before that, this is Kalanginath. The Kalanginath temple is there. The Chinese people, many of the Chinese people don't know. So this should also be made known to Chinese people so that they can have a link with this Confucius temple in Tamil Nadu. The Confucius is a second name given by China, and the original name was Kalanginath. Nath means Nada Parambara. Kalanginath became a person in the Nada Parambara, Nandinada Parambara. There are two Parambaras, Adinada Parambara and Nandinada Parambara. Tirumular and Kalanginath, Boganath, even Bogar, people call Bogar, but he is also Boganath, Nada Parambara. So, this secret many Tamil people or Indians don't know. In the same way, Chinese people also don't know. Before Buddha, China had a cultural link with India, spiritual link with India, and Confucius had been the first master to establish that in China. But after that, when Nalanda and the Tashila University were formed, many of the Chinese students came to Nalanda and stayed there and learned knowledge and went to China. They crossed the snow-clad Himalayas, and many people many people died while crossing the snow-capped Himalayas. When they reach this Nalanda University, the gatekeeper will conduct interview. This is the best type of interview. In that time, Nalanda University, more than 10,000 students stayed boarding university. Whenever one person comes to join the university, the gatekeeper will first conduct this interview, and only when the student passes the interview, he will be allowed to enter the campus. It had been very interesting subjects. Moreover, the person who wants to join this university should have Sanskrit knowledge. So the Chinese people into Myanmar and learned from Sanskrit scholars there and came to Nalanda University for admission. Such things were happening in the past. So when you see all these things, China is the primary student of Indian spiritual gurus. The knowledge available in the Chinese literature is influenced by India's spiritual literature. So this should be made known, and researches should be conducted to find out the link between these Kalanginaths from Tamil Nadu to China. He has written in Tamil as well as in Chinese language. So a comparative study of the literatures written in Chinese language and Tamil of one and the same master should be brought to light. The Chinese people are not aware of this thing, that they had a spiritual link in Tamil Nadu even before Buddha. Even before Buddha, they had links with Tamil Nadu. This Kalanginath temple is there in Salem. They should know. If the India government makes it known to the Chinese, the Chinese will come to Salem and see the temple, visit the temple, because they are visiting all Buddhist shrines in India. The Buddhist persons have constructed Buddhist temples in Buddha Gaya. When you go to Buddha Gaya, you can see the different types of Buddha temples. There's Korean model, Chinese model, all sponsored and constructed by different countries, Buddhist countries in Gaya. In the same way, China should know that it had spiritual links even before Buddha with Tamil Nadu. This Bodhidharman came of a Buddhist tradition, and he came after Buddha period. But even before Buddha, before Christ, in the same way before Buddha, Kalangina, the student of Tirumular, propagated spirituality and political vision in China. That cultural link should be unearthed so that the Tamil people as well as the Chinese people should understand this. What are the ideals propounded by Confucius? The Tamil people should also know, because he was Kalanginath. The same way the Chinese people should know about the writings in Tamil of Kalanginath, because what he said should be compared. So the Kalanginath Samadhi is in China. And Bauer has visited Chinese Samadhi, and examples that Confucius alias Kalanginath came out from the Samadhi and gave darshan and went back to the Samadhi. Such things are available in the Sthala Purana of Kanchamalai near Salem. It is near Ilampillai, Salem. The Sthala Purana is called Kanchamalai Charukam, and there are more literature regarding this place. And in this, all these things are mentioned, how they got rejuvenated from this place. Tirumular and Confucius, Kalanginath got a rejuvenation from this place, and they flew to China by consuming this Kahana Kulia. These are mentioned in the local literature of this Kanchamalai temple. So this link should be researched, and they should establish that Confucius alias Kalanginath, student of Tirumular, is the first spiritual and political guru of China, who is having a lot of temples in China. Even before Buddhist temples were constructed, only Confucius temples were there, and even now they are there. So this connection should be revived by the Chinese, and they should know more about Confucius, and they should visit this shrine of Confucius alias Kalangi in Tamil Nadu, just like they are visiting Buddha Gaya. But even before that, Confucius had been their spiritual master, and Confucius temple is there in Salem, Tamil Nadu, near Ilambillai. They should also translate the Tamil books into Chinese so that they can get a full view of this Kalanginath. The same way, the Chinese literature available written by Kalanginath and alias Confucius should also be translated into Tamil. Then only a better understanding will be made available regarding this Siddha. So from this we can claim that India is the spiritual guru of China, and the researches in this direction should be carried out to bring out more. Thank you.